Hey everybody, we are going to knit with plastic bags today and make this little coaster. This really is just for fun. It's for cold drinks. You could put a hot mug on it, but it might melt the plastic and then you would have a ruined cup. So really this is just for cold drinks. And I wouldn't use it to protect like great granny's hand-carved oak table or anything like that. Like I said, this is just for fun. Obviously you can see there are some holes in it, and some of the condensation from your glass is most likely going to go through, so just for fun. For this you will need some scissors and plastic bags, and you can use the bags that you get anywhere from the dollar store, grocery store, Walmart, Joann's, wherever. And you're just going to be cutting them into strips like I have here. And the ones that I cut for my coaster, I cut them in about 1 inch wide strips, and I got about 10 strips per bag. So you only need 2 plastic bags for this little coaster. And how you want to cut your plastic bags, we're going to be cutting off the bottom and the handles here. So a really easy way to get the strips out of your plastic bags, just lay them out flat. They don't really have to be perfect. And fold them over. And fold them over again. And maybe one more time. And then, with your scissors, just cut the bottom off here. And then I'm going to start cutting my strips about 1 inch wide. It doesn't have to be exact, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just eyeball it. This is a good way to use up some plastic bags if you have a lot lying around like I do. Okay, and of course some bags are bigger than others, so you can get a different number of strips depending on what kind of bag you use. So once you have your strips, you need to join them up to make your yarn, or Plarn as it's called. Let me just show you how to do that. It's really easy to do. You just lay out one of your strips, take another strip and lay it over top. Then you're going to go down into the strip that you're adding and underneath the first strip to grab and pull through. And you don't want to pull really tightly, you might break your bag. Now we have 2 strips joined. I'm going to do another one. I'm just going to do blue here. So here's my first strip. I'm going to place the strip I want to join over top. Go into the strip that I'm joining and under the first strip and just pull it through. So honestly it took me a little while to get the hang of joining strips. It's not hard, but sometimes the simplest things can make you scratch your head. So just joining strips or loops, and I used 20 loops for this coaster. You might need a few more, you might find that you need a few less. It's not exact. The needles that I used for my coaster are size 11, and I'm using Susan Bates aluminum needles. I did read somewhere online that you cannot use metal needles because the plastic sticks, and you should use wood or bamboo needles. I personally didn't really have a problem with the plastic sticking to my aluminum needles here, so try both types of needles. Use whatever one works best for you. And really, knitting with plastic bags is the same as knitting with regular yarn. I'm just going to show you really quick casting on. It's the same way that you would do it normally. I'm just going to do a few cast on stitches here, long tail cast on. And again, you don't want to pull the yarn too snug. You might break your plastic bag, although that is easy to fix if it happens. Okay, so I just have a few stitches cast on. I'm just going to knit now. And again, it's just like if you were using regular yarn, making your stitches. And you can use however many colors of bags that you like to try to make some kind of pattern in your item. You can do beach bags, you can do shopping bags. I even saw someone wearing a hat that they had made out of plastic bags. So, I mean, really you're only limited by your imagination. But, so I'm just knitting. And say you get to the end of your yarn, and to add more, it's just like we were doing before. You take your strip or your loop, take the loop that you want to join, lay it over top, grab it and pull it through, and just keep adding on loops until, whatever you're making is the size that you want. And I'm just going to bind off here. You could really do any kind of bind off that you want, but I find that the plastic is a little hard on my hands, so I probably would not make anything too large or complicated. And then when, just like you normally would, when you're done binding off, you would pull your tail through. And for my coaster, I just used a crochet hook to weave in the ends, my tails there, and just cut them off, just like normal yarn, except that you are knitting with plastic bags. So that's it. I hope you have fun knitting with plastic bags.